And so begins probably the strangest run of the one for quite a while. I'll be on to some speed and yeah. Energy missiles. Probably the weirdest one we've had for a while. This thing is... It's definitely something. Its primary source of damage is setting everything on fire. It does also provide ion. And that's all it does. It's an energy weapon, but it's a missile. And it acts like a phaser for unknown reasons. It does have one downside though. We're going to need to get drones, like combat drones, to do hull damage, because these things, at least in this version, don't do any actual hull damage. It's a bit awkward. What I assume you'd normally do with these is throw them on shields. Well, I say normally. You probably never find these, but if you did get them, they'd be good for shields. 6 ion on a shield's like a pre-ion in the form of a missile. And then almost all of the time, it leaves a fire behind. Well, I don't get why it's not 100%. It seems kind of pointless. Ah yes, a crystal. Funny crystal. Interesting. I might actually replace the wooden weapons for you, because I don't want them. And they're... oh, hello! Lots of people are here to see Strange Missile. Yeah, this run will go really, really quickly once I pick up combat drones. It's not really a downside to energy missiles. They take the shields and the weapons off in the same shot, which is quite something. Yeah, the current version will get crew kills very easily. It doesn't do hull damage just now. Which it was both a good thing and a bad thing. I mean, it made it similar to Particle, I suppose. But it does also beg the question of why you'd want this over a Particle Plus, which is equally as rare. Normally, I'd say the answer is you don't. Oh, how do we do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's no way. There we go, we can see what's going on now. I don't think we're going to recruit these dudes. We've got a Clone Bay though, might. Does Clone Bay maybe revive this dude? I can't remember. Maybe an upgraded Med Bay. Either way, they're having a bad time. That dude's dodging out of the way of all the fires. I don't think we can recruit him. He needs to fix into the system, and I need to not kill him beforehand. So, no, maybe. No, the ops. Oh well. It was close. Could not make him surrender though. Yeah, as I say, a random crew would be nice. Get rid of this icky Hermes. Nobody likes Hermes. Me and my homies hate Hermes. An amp ion, that is very topical, but that's like the last thing that I need. So, get out of here. Right, I'm going to give you my missiles. We're not going to be using any. And I found a solution to the missiles problem. And there's an augment that stops you using missiles, which is useful for these runs. What do we got here? Stiletto. I mean, sure. That'll do for hull damage, I guess. Kinda want the guard as well, but blah. Can't have everything straight off the bat, I guess. So, yeah. It does mean I'll need to pick up some missiles to get those performance upgrades, though. Don't break my clone bay, please. No, thank you. Oh, I need to remember not to move Symbiote around. He provides Zoltan power. Oh, he broke my clone bay. That would be kind of annoying though. Yeah, the scrap arm is going to be the thing that I need this from to make up for the scrap lost from the... Actually, I can't read drones. I guess I'm not going to use many of them. I'll just have to not go overboard with spending, I suppose. What's in the cargo? Is it an NG? No. Of course not. I don't currently need any more of these things, but later on I'll pick a second one up. I don't really think I'm going to need all 4 of them though. It'll be a bit excessive. I guess it'll just crew kill things quicker. And then we've got a way to deal with auto scouts, which is the one thing I was worried about. It's like getting auto scouts in Sector 2 or some nonsense. I'm just getting trolled. But not today. So for this ship, I can just spam it with rockets. Just break out 3 of them, make it go quicker. Yeah, the probability was the reason I picked this one. It's one of the few weapons that has a status chance on 90%. For some unknown reason. Also, wait, did we physically blow that up? Yikes. Hull damage with fire. Interesting. Ah, the irony of us missing engines. All those shots. Come on, man. That's better. Let's see if they're all on fire, though. Will we get that 10% unlucky chance? Yes, Shields isn't on fire. We've got a targeting jammer. That This is an argument I don't understand why I want to use. It just eats your fuel. It's just so much fuel. And power as well. No. What is this? Scrap? Oh, Christ. Oh, you need at least one missile to replicate them. Whoops. Yeah, let's not do that again. That almost ended the run real quick. Right. So how much iron is this now? It's 9 to shields and weapons. It's 12 when it's maxed if they all hit. Which is certainly something. Yeah, I almost had a problem of not being able to do any damage. It's very close. There's an orchid in my oxygen system. The irony of orchid. As we almost get a whole kill with my fire again. Wow, 2 of them didn't make a fire? What? Bruh. What have we got here? A pike and a... Wow, this is the weakest elite rebel I've seen in a while. That is pretty shameful. Let's see, we've got the fire in here again. Is that all the tiles on fire? Yep. All the tiles were set on fire, I'm now satisfied. We've got an energy cannon, that is quite fitting. Except, not this update. Because we don't do any hull damage. So... What's next? Orchid or Senate, and we have an interesting-ish mix of stuff. I don't want to go to nebulous sectors because I can't get crew kills. Which is what I want to spend most of the run doing. I don't want to be spamming drones, so... Off we go, I suppose. Let's head upwards. A rock. Outcast as well, so he learns to punch things easily. Quite what we're looking for, but okay. Oh. Would you like Nephthys though? Yes. Yeah, 2 delay for 22, that's reasonable. What is this layout? Good thing I checked, that is terrible. I can't use these extra jumps. Huh. Okay, I just scammed myself. Ah, an orchid, there we go, a free orchid. Nice. You can help my shields dude stay alive. We got orchid. Needs some help. Ooh! Now we can demonstrate the wonderful property of these missiles. They break a Zoltan shield instantly on contact. Yeah, 6 damage. Standard Zoltan shield to be downed, this thing's gonna pop them. We can enjoy some sizzling moment. The crystal cares too much though. And for an ion weapon, it doesn't have very much in terms of stun. That's another thing I'd point out with it, though. Anyway, what we got? So this layer is just really cursed. I bought delay and we were already unable to utilise our jumps. That's pretty cringe. We've got the brick is here. And it's full of orchids. It's even got a weed. Ah, yeah, and these missiles, they count as an ion, so get some fun moment with that as well. Set you all on fire. Where have I left to hide, my dude? The brick is gone. And we have a kernel. Interesting. Wait, huh? I got 7 scrap, but it gave me 6. What? That's not how it's supposed to work. There's nothing I can do just now because I don't have any scrap. I need to sell stuff to get scrap. And there's a conservative laser. I don't want to get a drone arm, so that's kind of bad. I'm looking for a defense drone instead. I could swap to a drone arm, but I'd be wasting scrap, so I don't know. I don't really want that late game. Right. What pirates are here to interrupt us? What? Get out of here. Nobody invited you. Ouch. Kind of crystals early game, but just evil. I literally can't shield it. Like a missile. It's not so fortunate. Right, so I have 3 jumps. I guess I can spend an extra point of fuel to get another jump. That was worth it. That was totally worth. Because I'll sell for a good bit. Right, next sector. What do we got? NG or shells? Shells are like actually good though. But NG though. I'd take energy missile to true end. I think I would. What do we got? It's time to hunt for a link, I think. Oh. Pesky clone bay moment is not healing my crew quickly enough. Yeah, scramblers are not a bad idea because we've arrived in NG. Ouchies. I'll have to clone my crew constantly, but this is definitely a tad awkward. Nope, they won't. And broke all my shit. God damn it. Dude's going to go back to what it meant to be. I think I need to put one of those indoors so that doesn't happen again. And then... gone. Right, where's this link? Can I scan everything? I should be able to. Oh, I might miss... No, I should be able to reach them all. I hope it's not in the top corner because it's annoying. Drone parts, we'll need those later. Ah! Look at this. How wonderful. And there's a link, so I do have hull damage. I can power everything. Take a shield, because this thing's probably gonna be rude if it is a... No, it's a suzerain. You know what? Screw you. I'll crew kill you. Man, it would have been nice to get true end. So if I'm correct, this will be very, very much on fire. Oh yes. They're not having a good time. There you go, cargo, it's a mantis. Man, why is it a mantis? We didn't even get anything for crew killing them. It's like, ugh. No good. And next on the menu, an auto scout, so I have to waste a drone part on this one, unfortunately. It's the only way. Ow! Oof. Yeah, that was kind of rude, my dude. Pulsar? Oh. Not a big fan. The background is literally my weapon. Oh, Lanius don't care. Well, I guess we'll throw orchids at him. And turn off your funny Dions. Can I have someone fireproof? Because they don't seem to be... No, they just have a bunch of energy, that's... pretty annoying. Thankfully I have a Zoltan. Oh, it's a stun bomb. I wonder what that was. Yeah, Paragon. It's a little bit awkward. That's kind of my point in anaerobics, though. Crew killing anaerobics is just annoying. Hacking, you say? Oh, we're gonna waste a drone part again. Because that's definitely shooting now. Oh. Oh! Let's put all of that on. Yeah. I'll take no chances with those, I just realised they've got pierce laser. Absolute pest. Alright, more fire. Please. Yeah. Just one tile of ship left. And it's all on fire. Wonderful. Not a better comparison for this, is it's not a, well, I mean, it's in the particle category, right? But it's just an ion version of Hades. It's the same amount of damage just now. Mind you, it doesn't do any hull, but it does the same thing, really. And the shield damage is an interesting trade-off, if you were to think of it like that. Why are you vented? Oh. I didn't even notice CO2 was off, I've got orchids. That's a lot of stores. Do I even have cargo just now? 1 or 2. 55. That's not enough for cloaking. I'll try and get another jump. Yeah, it would normally consume ammo. Which means it's not really the best, but... Oh, come on, I don't want crew, I want... it's a rock as well. I got nothing. Wonderful. Yeah, we've got a recycler. I thought the recycler was more balanced than just having an endless stack of missiles, so I swapped them out. Alright, well, if I take another jump, we can't get the store, so I've kind of just been scammed. You know what? No. I'm not giving you fuel, you're just gonna scam me. The map. Not today, sir. Plentiful amounts of ion, everything's turned off, and they're gone. Oh, that was on the wrong side of the line. Oh well. Right, we have a dive. I only have 2 engines. It's not ideal. Man, why does that cost so much? I'll make this a little less scary by turning off its thing. Ugh. A bit of rock, I guess. Ow! Very rude. I think we get hit twice, actually. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. Ouch. So we've got a liberated sector, another chance at a link, that's neat. Although I would very much appreciate... Oh, for crap. No! Not the frickin' spiders today. Right, can we have a store, please? What is this? A mess? As this ship wants me to waste scrap on it, I'm like, nope, because it's a trap. As usual, the guard drone can't do anything useful. No change, then. Right. We'll pull this apart. It looks pretty good condition, to be quite honest. Not sure why it's nearly broken, but... Anyway. Capture the ship. That sounds like something we can do. Crew kills. Ah, yes. Murder bots. Fun, fun. Wait, it doesn't hit those as well? Oh my god. That is... it's kinda... ooh. Wait, hold on, how do I kill this? I'm gonna have to use a drone. Yeah, there we go. Right, murder dispersal. Certainly answers the question of what I'm putting in my extra augment slot, because these dudes, they're really slow, like the rocks, to get around. So if the dispersal reduces the amount of time they have to waste fighting things, then that's good. It compensates for their lack of speed. Nice. Tracking flares? Oh, I'd love that, but we full on augment slots. Sadly, I can't take your offer. And I think one of you... Can you, like, upgrade something? What would it be? Like a crystal, maybe, for doors or something? No. No. Never mind. Let's get my performance. So... we are now maxed 9.2 seconds. That's actually pretty good for an ion gun. Well, minus the fact it uses missiles, that's not good. So yeah, what have we got? Mind control, that's probably... I have two... oh, I'd have cloaking it, that's why we're taking so much damage actually. Maybe I'll not go crazy on the spending, just wait for a store. Oh, this is about to be awkward. I've got a little drone. Yeah, fuel. My fuel will probably be at the next store, hopefully. Yeah, that should do it. Mind you, they fix pretty quick, so probably not. Might take a bit of persistent barraging to get rid of these pesky engine. fast, dude. Oh, he ran away. There. So I have enough for cloaking. If I could get it off at a store, I'll buy it. Does leave me a little questionable for scrap. No, they don't have it. I'll just buy fuel then. Right, Link, number 2. What do you got for me? Another... Oh, for fuck's sake. Why? Just, no. I am very disappointed. It's not even a big suzerain ship, it's just a tiny little one. What is this? Get off of my ship. Stupid bandits. Bro, they don't even have medical systems and they've got boarding. Now, what is this? This suzerain is a mess. Absolute fool. Yeah. What's in the cargo? It's another angry madness. Who... Huh? How did he teleport back to his own ship with the teleporter being broken? Odd. Another store. Oh yes, yes, I want more goodies. Energy repair platform. Sure. Cloaking. We're safe now. Mostly. Also means there won't be any downsides to this dive. So beating this man shouldn't be a terribly difficult task. I can just slap him. Spray on this one. My ship's got a ton of health, so this ain't too difficult. Just set all the tiles on fire and eventually he gets burned. Or deoxed, or both, I guess. An overcharger and a repair, that is, I should have just scrapped that, but okay. And what was this quest? It was the space dock. And buy some fuel from this, so that's pretty good. No missiles, no thank you. More burning, less annoying rebels, more sizzling. Exactly what I like to see. And we're done. Right, fuel. Fuel and a look at things I can't afford. Battery. And dive. Is there any upgrades we can do before we get stuck? Nope. I don't have power for that, so... Well... I might get slapped in the face, I guess. Chain Vulcan, how bold of you, sir. To think you could use a Chain Vulcan. Well, I've accepted I'm getting slapped in the face with an ASB, so... 3 missiles whiff, oh my god. This is why I don't like missiles just now. Like, aim it at ship and they always miss, and it's like, bro. We kind of want to do something, but like, at the same time. Are you serious right now? Bruh. Cloaking, please. Where are we going? Zoltan Capital? Interesting. I do like me a Zoltan Capital. Right, let's go see Sylvan. Oh, what is this sector layout? The sector looks like a dog, unironically. We've literally found the doggy sector. I'm very happy. Right, even with murder bots they can't win? What are you doing? Man. Yeah, this is quite something. We are literally forced to go and see Sylvan. Not that I would want to avoid him, but... Ah, this ship's full of rocks, isn't it? This is going to take ages. Oh no. I just had that thought, I was like, this should kind of have burned out by now. It's, no. No, it's a rock. Shit. Of course not. Yeah. Keep them all offline. No oxygen, they'll eventually get roasted. And the fires will help speed up the deox as well. That still took ages. Pesky rock. Yeah, what's Sylvan gonna give me? We get scammed or something? Oh, a story. Is this Gumpert? Yeah, it's Gumpert. I'm sure I'll pick him up. What do you got? You've got Hector. Hector junk that I can't use today. How disappointing. I think I will steal this. What's this, Gab? Can't remember the names of the mine launchers while looking at them, to be honest. Whatever it is, I don't like it. Oh, okay. The Hector runs are going to be quite interesting. Well, the beam one's going to be difficult to try and work out what I'm supposed to do with it, but I'm not sure what mods I'll put on all of them. Probably do fire and lockdown missiles. So we can get a Sylvan kill run. Well, to be honest, this is a pretty good weapon for killing Sylvan as well. If I can get... could get hacking and try that later on. Ra, that's not the one that's on there. That's the big boy. Well, I say big boy, it's a really atrocious mine launcher, but it is indeed chonky. Oh, Zoltan Pirates. How rude, so I just wanted to experience wonderful science nonsense. Oh jeez, that's high level mind control you've got there. Right. What's in the nebula? Oh, a fuel supply or ammo? Fuel. This is kind of mean. Absolutely disgusting. He blew the missile up, let's go! Oh. You broke my rock. How dare you? There. She'll be burned out now. And the O2's off as well, which isn't helping them. I can't see what they've got on board, but I imagine not much longer left. There we go. 6 fuel and a lot of scrap. Why do I keep losing scrap? Don't quite get it. Oh, hold on, we've got the... I think it's 15% from the recycler thing. It's be 10 from the scrap farm, that's why we're losing the money. Uh-oh. Don't hit me with that. Go cheese. Yeah, the oxygen's down. You forget to open the doors when the oxygen goes off. It's on top of that, I don't know. Anything not burning? No, seems like everything's on fire. There. We'll just hit all the excess rooms so they don't hide in the corners. We'll fix the med base, that's where they're all hiding. Funny. My dudes. And now they're gone. So the quest is one of the two up the top. We'll get Gunput first. Tracking flares, let's go. No, I don't like those. Oh no, I got right, that's quite a big bribe to be honest, that's like 70 scrap this early on. But no, we're gonna upset them. Wow, these are some weak modular weapons. Lockdown laser and lockdown missile. No secondary. Hello, Gunput. So Gunput's definitely staying on the ship. One of the orchids that's not very skilled. Yep, you can go. You now have an adorable lizard friend. You can reside in the doors. How many jumps have we got left? 5? I can't use all of these, so... I'll visit the monk store, but I'll not pay them. There's no point getting... delay. Do I care about the scrap here? Sure, sure. Battery. You know what? I think we'll kill Sylvan and sell Riftwaker for massive jokes. That's the goal of the run now. We must achieve the funny. Oh. Sorry, Rock. Right, and I guess we'll pop your thing so we can heal. And we can be off skis. What's... Want to give me missiles? No. No. This is internal upgrade time. What would I need for later if we're going to kill Sylvan? Need the neutral disruptor, and I'm going to need defense scrambler. It's the mandatory upgrade. Yeah. Upset the Zoltans because they're trying to be rude and hide wonderful secret surprises. Have they got any missiles? No. This is pretty grim, actually. I'm not sure what to do. I'll have to spend even more drone parts. Oh, pesky drone. Right. No. No drone. That works, just set it on fire and then get out of here. Go on. Right, Zoltan quest finished. This isn't... Sadly not the one that gives me the Zoltan shield permanently, but it's still nice. There, a light laser Mark 1, how wonderful. Right, so you like shields. You like shields. I guess we just upgrade my Zoltan. What is this rock supposed to be doing? Who are you? Meant to be my pilot. Right, well, that's probably a bit better looking for now. Nothing else we can do here because of the layout being a bit awkward, but it's not a complete waste. Next sector we have the hacker sector. That is something I've not seen for a while. Sure, we'll go there. Right. A new sector? No, this is just a really rare sector. You don't see hacked ones very often. It's probably like the most dangerous sector you could normally visit. Every ship you find here is going to have hacking. It's always level 3. And they have a high chance to roll both drones and mind control on top. So the ships are all pretty much maxed. And it's slugs, so you can't mind control them either. Plot is that the hackers took over the sector with their fancy ships by killing all of the militia. There you go, got NG. Nah, my weapon suits are crystals, no way. Sadly. There's no guard here either. And there's no exit beacon. The exit beacon is found by finding all of the nodes that have hackers on them. So you basically got to clean the sector. Oh, yeah, and they have neural disrupt on their hacking as well. Oh, it's a lot of stuff. And there's no ending for this sector, it's just a very rare. Very rare and very strange sector that's arguably quite dangerous. No nodes yet. Definitely need to drop traps this sector though, because you can't leave if you don't find the nodes. Here we go. No nodes. Man, where are the nodes? Where's that flak one? I guess we'll just have to take our chances. There. That's terrible. Oh, why you got a cloak in here? Right. Pepper their ship and then we'll be on there. There's not very many non-hacker encounters here, so I guess we'll take it. There we go, there's one of the nodes. Is it my engines? I actually don't care. Enough. Ooh. Also turned my sensors and doors off. That's a bit rude. I forgot to swap my... Ah, it's my drone. That's what I was supposed to do. Oh well. What's your mind control? Oh. So the downside of these dudes, well, their disadvantage even. There are stations, they can't dodge my stuff. It's pretty funny. Go. The goal with these is to crew kill them all. Get lots of loot. And it's all slugs, so let's bonk this. There we go. An NG was in the cargo, that is Do not put the NG in a box, it's very rude. Alright, no more beacons. Man, they must all be clustered down this bottom bit. Fuel or missiles? Reactor, nice. What do you got? No more beacons. They really are in this corner, aren't they? All hiding, sneaky little things. There should be 3. No, can't buy anything from you. Right, so there's 2 more. Might even be one in this corner. There should be 1 exit beacon and then... I guess they cloak cancel that off, damn it. Let's sneak that straight away. I can imagine a lot of people, like, if you're not prepared for the sector, it's the only thing you jump into. I can see this ending some people's runs. Because they got some pretty nasty stations. You get like double hacked. Enough energy, oh my god, no. No. Also, where's the exit beacon? This sector has not generated one. Right, so what do we got? Can't really have them turn my weapons off, but... mind control's more annoying. Their weapons are non-threatening, actually. They have 1 shield pad. Right, bonk. Nice. Station gone, I think. Because they all look a bit low on health. Oh, there's a dude hiding in the corner. Splat. Cache, 1 drone part. And there's the quest. So that's the exit beacon, or at least it should be. Quest doesn't always spawn in. So I bet this is literally the rarest quest in the game, because 3/4 of the time it doesn't spawn in. The objective, I believe, is a crew kill to get the data from their computer. Shouldn't be terribly difficult. Also, I had another thought. Ion is one of the few things that Zoltan can't actually deal with. I might unironically be able to troll him with these rockets. So I can turn his weapon system off. Right. There we go, fleet delay and Chemi. So it's one of the few places you can get a saboteur, I believe he'll be a hacker once they implement that. He's a fully skilled sabo, which... kinda useful, but kinda not useful. I guess he can replace my pilot, though. Not being able to mind control the pilot is a good thing. My weapons are good. Man, always got to be the unfun ones. Right, we're looking better. Let's turn... It's going to say, let's turn that mind control off, but I guess not. Stop! Oh, this gets annoying pretty quickly. This sector in general gets annoying really quickly. For me at least. Stop. Where's that freaking thing? Off. Now they're not manning piloting. Well, that's probably soon. Can we please hit the ship? Sometime today. So how are they putting all these fires out? That's what I want to know. Burning like 4 rooms at a time. What is this? Right, fix all the stuff, please. And we'll get out of here. It's certainly a weird sector. Oh, yeah, there's no stores in this sector as well. That's the other odd thing, is no one buy anything. Ooh. Oh, this is tiny for a hacker ship. Poor thing's literally got 6 rooms. All on fire. Let's just make absolutely sure. Yep. And now we can leave. There's another one of the odd ones. Because even if you finish the quest here, you still have to fight the exit beacon. Unlike some of the other ones, like the Hector one. There's no option to get out of jail free with it. You have to fight. Yeah. No more annoying little hackers. What do we got last? Beacon Eater. Interesting. Why not? Flak oh no, no. If you're gonna give me a flak weapon, give me a real flak weapon, please. What is this? Lose all of your fuel for 16 scrap. How interesting. Absolutely hilarious. Malanius is trying to ruin my run. Again? Again with the spiders? Oh well. Guess we're not allowed to have loot. Right, can we have Beacon Eater's quest, please? Oh, the Lanius Sax is bad because it will waste all my drone parts. I need to get my drone arm now. Just had that thought, we can't burn them out. Whoops. I also kind of can't deal with having a bunch of Lanius on my ship. Because they're kinda annoying. One, two, three, four. See, all I can really do is just keep everything ironed while the drone does work, but... there's no way we can actually burn anything out. Which is no good. Also, why is my stuff so low level? I need to get some upgrades going in. Well, we're definitely not fighting Sylvan. That cloaking. Cloaking 5. Oh, there's Beacon Eater quest. I'm not really geared for it though. I kind of want another jump. Right, drone recovery. And cloak. I can't get cloak 5 because I ain't got enough fuel. Oh, I can't get cloak 4 either, bugger. Oh well, we have vanilla cloak and hacking combo. Oh. Yeah, this encounter's funny. It tries to ram the slug ship to death. It gets upset. Right, so I guess the real question is how the heck do I do this? I need to keep their piloting off and their weapons off, and I can get one more system, which I guess will be hatching. Just auto-fire these 4 rooms. That'll be fine. It's not fine as this stupid Lanius in my... Clone Bay, get out of here. Battery. There we go. Who's dying? Stop dying. Man, stop boarding me as well, though. No. No boarding. Actually could get a crew kill if we can't fix that room. It's unlikely, but the mind control could pull some shenanigans. Partisan beam, that's what you give me for saving your life. You give me this trash. Yikes. Oh, we're not getting Beacon Eater this run because it'll get eaten by last sector. Lanius with tons. There's a fate worse than death right there. Get off of my ship. Alright. I don't think we have enough fuel to buy all of the levels of cloaking, but we only need, I think, 4, so... should be fine, I guess? I'd be more concerned about the borders, actually. Buy an anti-personnel drone to kill Sylvan with. I'll swap it with the guard drone when we go to fight him. If I fight him, that is. I'm gonna need a bit more scrap before I get to the last sector. Ah, crew kill? No. I want it. I don't need it. But I want it though. How do we get you off of the ship? Shoot. So 1, 2, and then 3 there, and a 4 here. That should eventually get rid of them. Slowly roast the Lanius, unless they board? What are you doing? Yeah, I guess the fire is enough to slowly eat away at the health. Well, they've run away from it as well. No! It runs away! Oh, I've got a solution. Yeah, you go in a room like that, buddy. No stun? Oh. No. Stun. That's better. Oh, but now the clone base not turned on. There. Golden flak through my own stubbornity. That'll help my scrap problem quite nicely. Oh yes. The Beacon Eater. Sadly I can't recruit him this run because we don't have enough jumps left before the end. They'll tell us. There's not enough time. Which is a bit sad. There's nothing that can be done. Alright, one more. There we go. Shoot. Yep, we're out of time. Sad. Right, so what upgrades would I want before we fight Sylvan? Because I'm really unupgraded outside of that cloak. Probably ignore this and get... Aww. Listen, I need an empty beacon, but we're not going to get one. And I can figure out what to do from there. Man, all the ships are boarding today. So... no. So we just wait on them getting roasted slowly. Can we not break the clone bay, please? Oh, thank you. Get off my ship. Melted. 69 scrap, nice. Yeah, it's because it's on speed, it feels like the pack lasts half a second. What do we got? A crystal. I forgot they did that. Cloak 4, can't afford Cloak 5, don't actually need it either. So what else would I require? Breach sealant, it's not optional. Extinguishers are nice, but we hopefully won't need them. That doesn't let hacking through, this is pointless. That's kind of it, I think. A drone booster would be nice if I get another free jump at some point, but now we're mostly done. I'll take fuel on the sector map. We'll grab some upgrades, so it'll be all that power. So right now I can power a drone, which is not enough, so I'm going to have to put my engines all on the battery, which is never a good thing to do. And then when we get to Sylvan, I'll swap these drones to try and deal with the very irritating irritating boarding drones. We'll use the boarding drone to destroy the boarding drone. I found out the other thing that we... Oh, shit. I thought we were playing on extreme. I know the other thing that we need. What does that maybe... What I need is... I was thinking of something, I can't remember now. Distracted by this ace. Yeah, the aces do be kind of rude though. Should probably hack their teleporter and make them leave. They're getting annoying. Right, so what do I need to consistently do? I need to keep the piloting off, because I don't want to keep missing. Right, now I can just auto-fire those. Oh, I need one for cloaking as well, don't I? Well, I can hack them back, so that's good. Away. I'll just keep these off. At least I should be able to, I'm not sure whether or not. There, fourth one can go on Clone Bay. And they'll slowly burn out. I don't even think they're going to bother boarding me again. Go home. Let's go wait on this all burning out and then we can swaps. Like that. I missed one. Yeah. Goodbye, Ace. We're a fun distraction, but no thanks. I want to fuel the sector map, and we can install the drone booster that I require. Oh, drone parts. Oh. I could have bought drone parts as well. Ah, whatever. What's the thing? Performance engines, that's the other thing I need. So if Sylvan decides to pull a funny moment, we can... Oh. Sylvan is running away! Hiding in the corner like a little bitch. I guess we'll not fight him then. Why do you do this, Sylvan? I just want to fight your ship. Well, it's a 50-50. We might fight Sylvan, or he might get taken over by fleet. Not sure whether he'll be sticking around or not. Sylvan might troll me. Also thinking I don't have enough engine levels, so if I can't get a decent bit of scrap from this, we're not going to bother either. I can't think of a more ideal weapon to kill him with. It's like the only thing that turns his weapons off is ion, and I have a bunch of missiles that do ion damage. So it just seems perfect. And I can set him on fire, which his crew hates as well. It'll come down to what Sylvan hacks. If he hacks, like, cloaking, we're leaving. And I ain't dealing with that shit. That's why I wanted my engine performance. That's all gone. How much scrap do we get? 61? How many levels are engines? Engines 5. That seems a bit low. 1, 2... 3. So I'd have to dive as well. Is it even worth it though? I'm torn. We don't lose. Like, he's not parked himself in a corner that you literally can't reach, but at the same time that's not ideal. I'll have to dive at least once, maybe twice if I get really unlucky. It's not going to put me in the best shape for actually winning the run. Because I can do both, because the flagship's not going to reach the base in time, because do one there and it's here, and then can almost get back. Hello, Sylvan, I'm sorry, but today we've got to be rude. I'm going to give this one go. I'm not throwing a runaway for it either. I'm going to make a quick save. I'm not taking any more than one go at him either. Because I do still want to win the run. There, I've made my precaution. If we die, oh well. And yeah, I forgot to... did I forget to change the drone? It should be on anti-missile. Yeah, it's on missile. Right, Sylvan, I'm sorry, but we have to do it just for the funny. Oh, I don't have enough system power for drones. Oh no. Where did you board? That's actually pretty unoffensive as well. Mind control's not, but... Sensor hack? You know what? This is looking pretty good. So you fire. Alright, this isn't terrible. They're going to get vented. Battery. Right, we're through the Zoltan shield already, so we can hack his weapons. Ooh! Ouch, it went through my shields. That's not good. Did we lose anything or get anything set on fire? The weapons is non-essential, actually. It's more just getting his auxiliaries off now. I'm more worried about this pesky board. Is actually the... Hold on. Oh, Sylvan's about to board. Teleporter. Hit that teleporter. What else do I need to deal with? That's on fire. I think we have to... Ah, Sylvan's actually going to board over as well. This is not ideal. So hoping their mind control has worn off by now. What can I do? So I need to put the fire out. This is going to come down to where does Sylvan board? Damn it, I didn't want them to actually come over. And you've set my hack on fire. That, oh, that has to get put out. Almost. We almost got wrecked. So he's hit my cloaking. And have you still not put this fire out, man? Good lord. No, I think we've lost because they couldn't put a fire out. You know what I needed was extinguishers. Wasn't expecting this to be an issue. So no. No. I'll just load the quick save. We'll be nice to Sylvan. No. We'll just sell you some missiles instead. And we'll forget that happened. Right. You know, it's one of the few times I have a weapon that could do it, so... I just got really fooked by that cloak not getting rid of all the shots. I mean, what is my cloaking chance anyway? Oh, are you taking the piss, man? 95 and it hits my weapons. Sylvan Y. Well, we'll kill them another day. Probably with, like, Royal Harbinger or something. For Royal Harbinger, I could one-shot Sylvan, that would be pretty funny. I only have 2, so what's that? 87 still not crap, though. Kinda just needed, like, that third shield. Would have saved me. There's only, like, one shot that snuck through as well. Absolute pest. Alright. Get off my base, you horrible little flagship. So what have I got? Actually, what is that I've got? It's murder bots, that's what I've got. Oh yes, the thing I don't really need. And yeah, 2 shield flagships a little bit awkward. It's like the limit. So what are we going to hit first? Let's kind of need to hit all of these. Are you taking the piss? It didn't hit anything? That is, not what I needed. Oh, come on! It's got 15% dodge. Oh, clone bay's off. Just go fix that, please. I'm really not happy with like how many missiles are whiffing right now. And yeah, we don't have shadowy weaponry, which is really screwing it over. I mean, thankfully we've killed most of the flagship's crew, so the boarding part's over, but my ship is also a total mess. So we'll take this time to do repairs. It's not long, but it'll have to do. Just need these missiles to not whiff. Like the ideal situation would be to hit all of these off with the ion missile. There's no way I'm going to get lucky enough for them to not whiff. Oh, for fuck's sake. Get back in shields, you idiot. There. Now all the weapons are off. No ion missiles. No laser. Just gonna burn them all off. And then I guess we can take the rest of this off now. And get a crew kill, which will help for later on. Begin the slow bonking. So if I just heard right, that just put a breach in shields. Lovely. Their shields will not be getting repaired. And now I can just auto-fire. And it's all gone. So crew kill phase 3 is going to have no borders, which is good. Yeah. So I get third shield because that was just not that was not good. Through shield. What else would I benefit from? Value point. Gas and anti-drone. Auto scout encounter. Kinda wanted a free beacon, my dude. I guess we'll get a free jump in a minute. Why the battery, my dude? Not the battery. What's the damn value points in... Oh, I'm hitting the wrong thing. I'm hitting hacking. Whoops. That's better. You can just pinpoint it to death. There we go. Better. How wonderful. We've reached the engine. And drop. So that's more money. Get my piloting. And I guess since we're getting boarded, I'll take the doors as well. Right. I'll do a repair as well. I didn't count my drone parts because I thought we got some from the event. Funny. I have no method of damage now. 1, 2... No, I don't have jumps. Fucking... I just looked at it, I was like... Well, normally the repair beacon gives me a drone part, so I didn't think about it. Ouch. Okay, so I can't have an anti-drone for this phase because I was stupid. That is very painful. Oh, boarding drones, no. Oh, and I lost my hacking as well. Oh, this is just awful. Come on, Gunpot, you can do it. Ah yes, the drone bug is back. This needs fixed, because it's kind of cringe. Anyway, let's put my amp on. Start beating it up. That should do. Yeah, I almost ended the run by being an idiot. Go. Not my shields. Ouchies. Big ouchies. Oh, for Christ's sake. That well-timed shield hack just ruined me. Alright, so... 1, 2, 3 again. Yeah, with speed on, it really spams that. Ouch! Drone bug, no! Ow. Ow, ow, ow. Man, I almost died to drone bug 2 runs now. If you don't know what's wrong there, for some reason, having it on speed makes the beam drones not despawn I think it's every second drone phase. They just linger forever. Took like 15 damage because of it this run. Like, come on, man. You're gonna fix that shit. Because it's just really annoying. That's why in current version you can't actually finish a Crucible run. It's literally impossible. Because of a bug. Alright, anything else I can do before we go? I guess we get swag sensors. That's all I've got left. And then we chase a flagship. I want that on anti-missile. I'm not even going to tempt things, I'm not even going to bother putting it out. Nah, I'm just gonna deal with it. I don't think it'll be enough to ruin the run. It was with Crucible, like, it just straight up one-shot my ship with it. That was massive boosh, but... Ah, but this is the problem. I actually think that drone part decision earlier fucked my run. The power surge, for some reason, loves to eat your drones. I think we'll end up stalemating the flagship. And it won't count as a stalemate because we're doing ion damage, so... Yeah, I think we've unironically lost the run because I did a stupid thing with drone parts. I'll do as much damage to it as I can with fire, but because it turns the O2 off, I can't break everything, so I think we're just going to stalemate. There we go. Is there any way to deal with this? You know what? If it repairs engines, it's a large enough room I could do damage to it with fire. There we go. It might save me. Barely. Let's put you on there. Yeah, it's not a very high chance of doing system damage with fire like this, but it's reasonable enough. I'm also just going to power this up now, in between a phase. Let's see if we can get any more damage in. Oh, you got your cloaking back. No! It's going to waste my potential damage. Oh, lucky. Because the chance of the drone surviving is not awfully high. There's an awful lot of lasers. Oh, stop! Stop it with this spam. Alright. 14, 12. Oh, it broke that permanently. Nice. Yeah, I could micro the drone. That's definitely something I need to consider. Stop you there. Surge. There we go. Uh-oh, I can't get it out of play. That's Salt Shield. Nice. One. Come on. There we go. Panic over. The duality of rock has been revealed. Combining a Zoltan and a rock is a great idea. Well, sort of. Between bugs and my own stupidity, I almost died, but we clutched in the end, so I'm happy. And yeah, Pinpoint saves the day again. And Sylvan did not die this run. We'll get him next time. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I think we'll play... What have we got left? Let's see. We'll probably be playing the Never Miss tomorrow, if I had to guess. That's probably what people will vote for. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.